everyone, here we are with another My Amazon Guide tutorial video. In this video we're going to go over how to build a brand storefront on Amazon. Okay, so to give you a brief overview of what we're going to be working on, it's of course going to be how to find your Amazon brand store builder on Seller Central. Then we're going to look in creating a new brand store, and then we're going to get into a nice in-depth run through of the store builder itself. We're going to be looking at the different tile selection options, going over the recommended templates that we definitely suggest you use, best practices, and even at the end, I'd like to try something new and kind of throw in a look at some really popular 2022 Amazon storefronts, not all of which were created by my Amazon guy. I think it's important to show some stuff that we didn't create ourselves, to show that the best practices we're suggesting is being applied in other brands and other competition, to show that yes, these are the things that make you successful on Amazon. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do here is share my screen. And where I'd like to draw your attention firstly is actually to my Amazon Guy website. Just for a quick reference, if you need, under services, we have our brand storefront option. And I want to bring your attention to this page just because it has a really good breakdown of why and how to use the brand storefront. What makes it different from A+ content? What makes it different from just a brand story on your listing? Why is it necessary, and how can it help you increase sales? So definitely give this a read through. Highly suggest you check it out. It sees what is important with it. We have a early tutorial video here on how to set up your storefront. It's relatively the same. And then we of course have the main points here of how is it increasing conversions? What is it bringing to your clients, or your customers rather? And then here we have a very little nifty scroll through slideshow here that shows some other My Amazon Guy created brand stores of what was popular, what converted really well, something that made the client really, really happy. So yeah, go through here and see things that might actually work for your brand. Or inspire you in your designs. So yeah, definitely check out this page, and we're going to jump right into it. I'm going to be using Stephen Pope's Age of Sage as an example here. We're going to be referencing this quite a few times, so I just wanted to have it open. But we're going to be starting in Seller Central. So when you log into Seller Central, of course, it's going to bring you to your dashboard. You're going to start the process with the little sixth tab here called Stores, and you're going to do the little drop down here to Manage Stores. So that's going to take you into your Amazon Ads Stores area. This is the home page. It is important to note that your trademark absolutely has to be brand registered in order to work. So that needs to be done first. They have a nifty little link here that will take you right to it and get you started in the process. But once everything's finished, that's where we're beginning. You can definitely check that out if you need to get that done. Super easy to follow, but not addressing that in this video. Okay, so once you have a registered brand, it's going to appear like this, where you'll see Create Store here, and you'll see the name of the brand. So I'm going to show you first what one looks like without anything done, and then we'll go into actually navigating the store builder with something that's a little more established so you can see all the different options. So I'm just going to go into Create Store. And here's what you're first going to see. You're going to go into your store editor, and they're going to have on the left-hand side here store settings. And this is where you're going to name your brand. They give a little tip of do not say things like shop now, do not say LLC, just put the title for the brand. And then they have the brand logo area here where you'll upload it. Just clicking on it, as you can see, opens your window and makes it really, really easy. Just drag and drop. And then they give you the sizing metrics here for what are the image aspect ratios. So it's going to be 400 by 400 pixels is the recommended. And then you're going to have selecting the grid style that you want. For us, just as a quick little tip, we usually say don't show logo. This allows us to make our own pretty little banner and not have a logo in the way. So definitely check no if you don't want the logo shown. And then we also recommend going with standard because it has that easy little button of quickly add it to your cart so they don't actually have to go to the listing. It's just a little tip there. And then you're going to press next. That's when all the fun gets started. So I'm actually going to go back to our Age of Sage store right here, and I'm going to go into Edit Store. So of course this is going to be blank when you first get to it, and it's going to ask you here on the left to create pages. Just to give you quick names for everything, this area to the left is a page manager. This is how you set up here where you see little navigation tabs at the top. That's how you set those up. This middle area is the preview window. This is how you can view it in desktop view or mobile view. It always opens in mobile view for some reason, but of course I'm really partial to desktop view because that's what I'm using. And then on the left here we have page selections, also known as a tile manager. This is how you're going to be managing. You see if I highlight over here, it kind of shows you where I'm at, where it shows it showing the equivalent tile area. So, and then when I move here, it shows the area where you see it. Okay, I'm gonna move on. All right, so that's the tile manage area. And then of course we have things like insights, translations, a little help area. It is important to know up here is where you'll see pop-ups for if there was an issue, say with publishing. Those who also noticed, this does look different from my front-facing storefront right now. Oh, thank you, Stephen. He's doing a video. Okay, so this is different from the front view store facing right now. If you notice right here, we have a versions at the top. This is really great for doing things like customizing your storefront to be really relevant to the time. So we just had Halloween, so we have Halloween header set up. So we can then just publish this one, make it live next year around the same time, and you don't have to do any work. But so this is actually the live facing store, but reason I wanted to go live is to show you this banner here. This is where information will pop up. Say if for some reason the publishing got rejected and Amazon bounced it back, say you used a restricted word or a prohibited word, it'll actually tell you right here in a little red pop-up bar. This one just reminds you that what you're doing is kind of automatically saved, and once you go live with it, that's it. And then you'll have to fix it manually. You'll look all over the place. There's no undo button. This is not Microsoft Word. Okay, so just to get straight into it, if you want to add a new page, these, like I mentioned at the top, are your top navigations. We recommend having like a minimum of 3 pages. You want to give your clients nice control of filtering through all your products. Having a page that just has a million listings, one after another, and no graphics breaking it up, eventually they're going to get tired of scrolling. If it takes more than 3 scrolls to see other products, you're wasting your home page right here. So you really want to show a lot of what you have to offer, whether it's showing the products like this or giving a nice graphic image. A clickable graphic image is really, really good. But so use these title names as however really helps navigate your specific products. If you're doing clothes, it can be men, women. It could have, even as you see little drop downs, where you can have maybe different sizes, different seasonal wear, or if it's like electronics, it could be the computer devices, the headphone devices, so stuff like that. Make it suit your needs and make it really user-friendly. Okay, so what we're going to do here first is I'm going to show you how to add another page. So it's super simple. You're just going to say add page, and we're going to name it. So let me name it something for Age of Sage. Let's call it, maybe Steven decided to make plates. So we're going to call it plates. I'm actually not sure if we have to do the metadata. Usually it actually says what fields are required. I'm just going to say awesome plates. Obviously you want to put keywords in there. But okay, so here's the template types that you can select from. So we have the product collection, we have the product highlights, we have a marquee, and then we have blank if you want just full control. I usually start with product collection because that's the easiest, and you go into create page. And so now here's your page. You got your header image. Yes, it can be different. And you got your product collection down here. And so what you'll do is say add new section. And new section shows you all the different tile work that can be done. So I'm just going to do a quick overview of what some of these are. This is split selection, where you can have the products appear in a grid, kind of like an Instagram grid, and each one can be clickable. That is a best practices thing. You want to make sure everything is clickable. They can either put it right in their cart or preferably go right to the listing. Then we have, of course, a text area. This is really good for talking about your brand and giving them an insight into who you are, what makes you unique, or special features that your products have that others don't, stuff like that. We have image. This is where you'll input a big graphic image. Then you can have an image with text overlay, something that's crawlable, that can index. Then you have a highlight shoppable image right here. This one is already set up to have clickable areas on it. So you can have, you see how it's pointing to like different little points. So if you have a single image that has multiple products in it, you can make that little specific product within that graphic image clickable. You can have a single feature image with a product that has some details here. It's basically going to be one of these little tiles just blown up larger. And then, of course, we have regular grid here. We have a collection. So say if we're doing plates, okay, say we're going to do, a seasonal collection. Okay, this is the ones for Christmas. This is for Thanksgiving, stuff like that. Featured details. This is also really good for just automatically highlighting specific deals that you might be running. Best-selling products, recommended products, so things that might go together. Video is a really, really good thing to take advantage of if you guys are set up with video. I love to recommend people at least even do a slideshow, something that's very elegant or very informative, just to have a video. Videos are super engaging and people really like clicking on them. This can be a looped background video. This is a really creative thing to do. Make sure it's not too distracting because you don't want to draw attention away from the products that are in the foreground. But having a background video, even of someone just using the product or just to kind of B-roll video of going over the product, that's really fun and interesting to have on a loop. And then, of course, you can have the gallery here as well. So I'm just going to pick a few. So let's go image and, okay, so image here, we're going to just, I really should have had something ready for you guys, but let's go into pictures. And I'm just going to select, oh my gosh, this is so unprofessional. I'm going to select this Google eyes of aliens. So we got that picture there. And you have the option to crop, and then, of course, I'm going to cancel this, but the option to cancel as well. And it gives you details of what is best for this this tile here. Then you can put in your SEO information here, title it if you like. This is the really important part that I wanted to show you. This is how you link it to a specific ASIN. So if I go here real quick and just go to this product, pretend this is a plate. I can grab the ASIN. Obviously, you can grab the ASIN from Seller Central, but just for speed, I'm going to grab it from the top there. You're going to put that in, you're going to search it, and there is your product. So this is how you make this, I'm so sorry, it's not professional. This is how you're going to make that graphic design clickable. So now when they click it, they will literally go straight to this listing where they can see all the information, they can see the different variations available, they can add it to the cart, they can buy it, they're happy. Okay, and now I'm going to delete this before I embarrass myself anymore. Okay, so that's how you do this one. And it's really the same thing with these other sections here. Let me find another one that's fun to click. Let's do this one. Okay, and so here what we can do is you can choose your different type of layout, which is really, really nice. I like it, where you can have it offset here, which is super, super fun. You can add your title. There's an optional description, and it's really great because it all works just with the ASIN. So I'm going to add this here. And this is how it offsets things and how it can change things up, where if you want to add a manual tile and a manual description, that's what you can do to customize it, or you can just say automatically link to what's on the listing and it'll appear right here. So this is super, super handy. And I'm going to delete this one as well. Or maybe I'll keep it there. No, I'll delete it. Okay, and so your next one, oh, by the way, if you need to delete these, just go all the way to the bottom and you can delete them and you're done. It always automatically starts you off with this header though, which is super nice, but to update the header image, click into it and it gives your image specs here as well, 3000 by 600. As you can see, the image is nice, crisp and clear and looks really good. But so definitely start off with that header image and then these pages on the side. That's the best way to get started. Let's pick another section here. Which one should we look at? Ooh, let's do collection. All right, so what I'm gonna do is you can name the collection type. So I'm gonna just call this, I don't know, seasonal plates. So we're gonna call it seasonal plates. Instead of picking some horrible photos, I'm gonna actually just look up some plates. Obviously, I'm not gonna publish this because it would be super wrong, but let me go in here and save this image real quick. I can't save that one. Can I save this one? JPEG, yes. Okay, cool. So we have that image there. Okay, so we're gonna go in here. Desktop, we're gonna grab this image. Oh, it's not the right size. Okay, scratch that. But so what you're gonna do is you're gonna grab your image, preferably one you've made already. Keep in mind the size specification of each of these. It's a really good idea to look at the different tiles to know what sizes you're working with so you don't have an embarrassing situation like this where it doesn't fit. And then it gives you the file formats here as well. They are compatible with GIFs now, as well as JPEG and PNG, which is super, super helpful. Text areas here, we have the title, we have the body, which is optional, and then of course how you want to add your products, whether you want it to be manually by search or by entering a list. Then of course you can hide out of stock products, which is super, super helpful. And you can even manually select products here by doing the same thing with putting in the ASIN, press add, and you can add multiple ones. It's and see the little show more option here, but you can add multiple ones and they will appear at the bottom. So I'm going to delete this one. All right, and so that's how you're adding your tiles. We do have multiple tile options here, so please check them out and see what's available to you. See which ones work for different products, different feature details, different seasonal collections perhaps. But yeah, so that's a really good idea. Next, we're going to mention, I did briefly mention troubleshooting, but I just like to mention it again. It's going to be that banner briefly at the top. Keep an eye out for it. It is general. Sometimes when you get, I wish I had an example, I don't at the moment, but when you get a message back from Amazon, it's going to be a red banner, and it's in lawyer speak, so it's going to be very vague and confusing, but look at the second half of the sentence. That usually tells you exactly what the issue is. So if you're not able to resolve the issue on your own, if you're a client of us, you can actually reach out to us, but you can also then file a storefront ticket, or not a storefront ticket, but you can file a case with Amazon and ask them to push things through, or even explain it to you if you're not entirely sure. Okay, so to go over some best practices, I'm actually going to delete this pages thing before I forget. Delete page, done, perfect. Okay, so to go over some of the best practices that we mentioned, for your header image here, you want it to be bold and eye-catching, something that complements your brand, but is also going to be a consistent style with what you have on your listings. We always recommend a minimum of 3 pages. If it's not possible to create 3 pages of different products, at least something that kind of helps them filter through, whether it's scents, sizes, or uses. And the home page as well should also have all of the different filtered uses, or all of the different filtered tabs right here should be reachable through the home page. Next would be all images are clickable. That's what's super, super important. So if I go back here to the Age of Sage storefront, all of these images are clickable and they're gonna take you to a product. Name of the game is make it super simple, make it really, really easy to add things to the product. They shouldn't have to then go and look for things. So as you can see my mouse here, everything that I hover over is clickable. That's what's wonderful about that. Oh, you can see the bestsellers down here. Next thing would be probably avoid product lists. So if you have a whole page that just looks like this, avoid doing that. You want to be able to keep their attention, break it up with engaging imagery. Again, imagery that's clickable, but break it up with engaging imagery, something that makes them want to scroll and see more of your products rather than getting bored with the same grid pattern. And then, of course, customize your storefront to the season, whether it's nearing Christmas or Halloween or New Year's. Update your banners, bring relevant products forward. So say you sell firecrackers, now have them available in the front rather than hidden in a different tab. So make things relevant to the season for sure. Okay, and so we're going to go and now we're going to start looking at some storefronts that are really popular for 2022. So the first one I'll pull up. Let me grab this one. This storefront I absolutely love. So in this one, this is a really good prominent storefront that has many products to choose from, and when the customer opens the storefront, they receive a preview of the extensive range of swimsuits, and of course it's both kids, adults, male, female, and we even have accessories, rash guards, things like that. But what makes this really prominent, I feel, is right off the bat, it starts with a strong video. Video shows the products being used. It shows them on location. It's really engaging. It really makes you want to just buy the product so you can go into those places and start swimming. And then, of course, the pictures are really straightforward. This is a really good minimalistic way of showcasing clothing. So it's not cluttered, super easy, and of course, everything is clickable, which is awesome. And then I like how they have this more option where they can go through everything at once, which is super nice. So get back there. But yeah, so and then each page is a little different, which is fine. I like that you can scroll through the images here. So yeah, I like that a lot. But obviously the first page is what's going to be most engaging. I'd not recommend doing something like this, but the first page this is really one that brings you in and makes you interested in the product. Okay, and so my next example that I will bring here, just going to paste and go. Shambar. I wanted to use this as an example just because of how bold and loud it is, but also still not cluttered and not off-putting. So they did a really good job they don't have many different variations to choose from, so they don't have a large list of different tabs here. But what they decided to do is you do the uses of this. So it's shampoo. Okay, this one hydrates, this one soothes, this one will wake you up, and then they added another one here just to show all of the bars. But so what I like about these are the bright colors. It's really loud but not off-putting. It's definitely on brand, and it kind of breaks up their style here where they added an image, but they created the graphic design here, which is super nice. So definitely make use of the big image options that you have. Add infographics like this. Have your models here. Make it engaging. Make it something that even you would enjoy looking at. Next one I can show. Won't take up too much of your time, but this one I want to show as well because they have candles, but this one is super, super unique where they took advantage of using a GIF. This super, super good. It's a lit candle. It shows it in use. You see what it's going to look like. So they really make it engaging. And then they break up where they have this tile format, this clickable tile format, which is great. And then they break it up with images here and then a little shop button where you can go straight to it, but you can also click on the images as well. So this was also really, really well done. Props to them. This is something you should consider doing as well. And then, of course, they customized their banner to match their styling as well. Let's just do one more. This one I really like because they went the extra mile of making black and white look high end. So this looks like men's skincare products, but I really like how they use their grid, where they kind of used a collage thing where the images are different sizes. Only thing I would have recommended to do differently is making these clickable. This is just, you see, it's a solid image. So if I want this product, you see, I can't click on it. So I would have changed that and made these images clickable. But I do like this kind of collage thing that they got going on. Really, really engaging image right here, even though technically it's messy. When you see how much white there is and the high contrast of the products here, it actually still is minimalistic. So they can have more messy photography, but it still feels nice and clean. And then they have their images down here where they have that, this is that grid section, but it's just done a little differently. So if I actually go back to Shambar here, it's the same thing. It's a grid. This one is that vertical option, but it's a grid, but you can customize the graphics to make it unique to your brand. So like this, they have a very simple kind of gray background outlining the product with the title underneath, and the whole thing is clickable. But they're using this darker gray background to kind of offset. You can see, if you look really closely, the actual size of the tile. But yeah, so this is how they went about doing that. And then they have, like you definitely should, everything organized here. They went the extra mile and made a tab specifically as an About Us tab, where they can add a little bit about their vision, about their brand, stuff like that. So this is definitely good. Ooh, I like how they have this spaced out as well. That's a really good idea. That's a little repetitive, but regardless, this is a really great brand store. This is definitely how I'd recommend doing it, only with some subtle changes. And I think that is probably where we can end it. If you have any questions, definitely let us know. I guess probably the best place to end it would be to show you, once you're finished, how do you publish this? Right here. Top right corner, submit to publishing. Okay, and then you can also, by the way, you can also preview it. If you don't want to just view it here, click preview right there, and you can see all your changes live, and you can still even scroll going to the different pages here. And that's super, super helpful. So if you guys have any questions, definitely reach out to us and let us know. I super appreciate your time, and I hope this was informative. All right, have fun building.